friends. Welcome back to today's episode of the Life with Loverly podcast. You guys can only see us if you're watching this on YouTube, but Nichelle and I are actually twinning on this episode.
Yes.
With the most comfortable Amazon skirt set.
It's definitely going to be one that I'm purchasing in multiple colors this season.
Me too.
It's the perfect set.
It's funny because we came to work this morning not discussing what we were wearing, but knowing we had a podcast to record.
Yep.
And literally are wearing the same set, just a different color, but
it's so close. It's so funny.
I know. I actually really like that's a little bit more of a grayish tone.
Yes.
Do you have it in another color too?
I actually just purchased the ivory one this morning. So I was like, I need to make sure it I've worn it twice since I got it already. Yeah.
It's so comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's very similar to a Free People set. And I have the Free People one. And then we found this
Not me
Amazon
going on Amazon
version.
going, can I find it here?
And literally, I kind of think this one is almost better.
I don't think it stretches like yours did.
Yeah, that one stretches out, and it's almost like the knit in that is a little thicker.
Okay, yes.
This feels better for summer.
Okay, that's good to know.
I'm very excited to go on and see what other colors we can get in this. So
Agree.
We'll put the link in the show notes if you're curious about what we're talking about, if you can't see us.
Yes.
Okay, well, we have a fun little chat we're going to talk today. We're going to kind of update our 30A episode. We just got back from 30A, but I guess before we did that, last time we talked to you, you were about to go on vacation with Robert for your 20-year anniversary.
I was.
How was it?
It was great. So our 20-year anniversary was last week, and we took a trip to Key West. We flew into Miami, drove the islands to go all the way down to Key West. And guys, if you have the opportunity and the time, it's such a fun ride. It was beautiful. There were things that I didn't think that I would have ever seen. There is Deer Key. There are specific deer in the Keys that are on that one island. And it's like a reserve of some sort, protected. There's fences everywhere. Saw alligators and all kinds of crazy iguanas. Had a little friend at the pool.
Literally, when you sent me that video being this guy just walked around the corner.
We scared each other. We both scared each other.
huge.
I had been asleep outside, living my best life in the sun. And I was like, okay, I'm getting a little hot. I'm going to get in the pool. And I lean up. And I don't know what made me turn around. Nothing grabbed my attention, but I think I just turned around to I don't know. And he was there, and he turned and looked at me so fast. We both were staring at each other so hard. It was
He was
so scary.
huge.
He was an alligator. He was huge. And so anyway, Robert, of course, wasn't there because the first day we were there, he went deep sea fishing. And I was like, what do I do? Do they bite? Do they attack? The only ones I've ever seen in the wild were the ones when we were in South America, in the Yucatan, and they come after you.
So it's
you're wild,
ready for this one to
so I was like, don't move. He ended up just going around. He went over and checked out the water for a second and then climbed up a tree. And I didn't see any other ones in the yard the rest of the week, so it was fine. But yeah, it set the tone. I was like, first day, big iguana.
You're okay, good to know.
Exactly.
That's
so
funny.
yeah, Robert ended up being really sick.
Yeah.
Laid up on the sofa watching Netflix all week. Just, of course, he got his deep sea fishing in first.
Right.
He got that out of the way. And then got real sick. So that was, it kind of put a little kink in it. But for the most part, honestly, I thrive waking up whenever I want, have my coffee on the patio, listen to the waterfall of the pool. The golf course was right behind us, so we were watching people play golf all day, and it was so quiet.
Yeah.
So quiet. I laid by the pool all day, every day.
And just relaxed and read.
I did. I read 8 books in 4.5 days.
I was also really proud of you because this was obviously Nichelle was on vacation, so she was not working. And she left some of our group texts that we have because, in the normal working week, everybody else is sending texts through them or doing whatever work related. And I was just like, I am so proud of you for just being like, I'm really turning off. And
It
that
was very awkward. It felt weird, but I was like, you know what? I can't do anything down here.
right. And like, that's not the point of vacation.
No, it's not. But I'm just, that's how I am.
Well,
I need to know everything.
well,
so
I would call you if there was an emergency.
I know. And so it was a lot of like, it was just nice. I woke up that morning and I said, you know what? I don't need to know what's going on today.
Yeah.
I'm going to remove myself.
I know. And when I saw that, I was like, yes, girl. Like, and then it kind of made me think about, I needed like, that needs to just be like standard for other people when they take vacation. Like,
Yeah.
So that they're not having to worry about seeing the text and be like, well, what is really going on there? So,
Yeah. I left my phone up on like in the house and I would turn on my Bluetooth and I listen to music outside with the speaker all day.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I got a text, like it would ding. And sometimes it didn't when you needed me. But we did our best. I was able to go downtown and I went to the Judy Blume bookstore. It was so cute. And of course, I got a couple of books. It was something to really, honestly, if you go, you have to check it out. It's like one of the best bookstores that's down there. Walked down Duval for a little bit and Robert was literally pouring sweat probably because he had a fever at this point. So we were like, let's go back.
You're like, never mind.
Yeah. But it was so relaxing. And then I got home on Saturday and Sunday we took off to go to Rosemary. So
literally like I think you got home at like 9.
I did.
And we met here in Athens to leave for the airport at 6.
My alarm went off at 3:45.
Yeah.
But it was like adrenaline at this point because I'm like, I'm going back to Florida.
Right. So this time we ended up flying to the beach.
Yes.
Usually we take the van and we drive 7 hours from Athens. It's actually, without kids, I feel like we can do it in like 6.
We do it in 6,
Michelle's driving,
Yeah.
But this time we ended up flying and we went down there for a leadership retreat. So it was a few of the girls on our team leadership in like the leadership positions, and some of them have been like newly appointed to their role. So it's just a really great time to kind of talk and plan and just go over what the rest of the year was looking like, and for them to ask us questions and just really kind of fine tooth some things. And then of course, like plan some bigger projects that we're working on and do some brainstorming and things like that.
Yeah.
But aside from that, we wanted it to be a fun retreat that we were hanging out, doing other things. So we ended up flying just because I think we were going to have to take like 2 cars and with everybody's luggage. And it was just going to kind of be easier to fly. And there's an airport that is 30 minutes from our house. It's the ECP. It's like the North Florida Beaches Airport. It's so easy. Direct flight from Atlanta. You actually like time travel because of the time change.
Yeah.
So like you take off and land at the same time. Such an easy flight. And then we rented a car through the Turo app, which Nichelle and I have done that several times and have loved it.
I have to tell you, and especially after renting a car from just like a national like chain this last time, I will never do that again.
Yeah, it's very like stressful at the
Meaning
airport.
I will never go through a chain again. Turo has been amazing.
Yeah.
The people on the app are so easy to deal with. I mean, even honestly, we had one cancel on us, but it was far enough in advance. Like she was very apologetic. Like it was just something out of her control. We were able to go in and reschedule. And most cities that are a little bit larger have so many options to choose from.
I will say going down. So obviously we're getting into summer, and 30A, for those of you who are like, I don't even know what 30A is, like, what are you talking about? 30A is a coastal highway, like right on the beaches in Florida. And it is like right in the Gulf.
It's like right after Panama City.
Yep. It's in between Panama City and Destin.
Yes.
And there's all these little like coastal towns. It starts with Rosemary Beach, and then it goes all the way over to like Blue Mountain Beach. I think Grayton Beach is kind of like at the other end. And it's different than your typical like beachfront towns that just have like are lined with hotels. These are almost like more like European kind of like villages, and there's like homes. And I mean, Rosemary looks like you just stepped into like it from Europe. It
You
does not look
literally
like Florida.
blink coming off of the main, I can't remember.
98.
98, yeah. As soon as you turn onto 30A, you blink. And like when the trees start, you are in a different place in time.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And every time you get on that road, you're just like, like you
Right.
just feel like this like weight lift your shoulders because
Right.
you're like, we're here.
I haven't been all the way down, but I do believe as far as I've gone, it still doesn't feel like your normal, like, what is it, Front Beach Drive or whatever that is over on
Yes.
Panama City, where it is, I mean, things have just been there for, feels like millennia, you
Right.
know, where this is still, yes, you have beach houses and you have a couple of like condos, but after you get through like probably, what is it, Water Sound, it's still so nice.
Yeah. And just lush
Mhm.
and it's now it's not like much of a secret.
No.
It used to be so much more like just secret. Like people really didn't know what it was. So I think there's definitely pros and cons with that. A con would be if you are going in the summer and you fly, like renting a car could be harder
Yeah.
through one of the like commercial chains or through Turo.
Right.
I would just say like rent something far in advance, or if you know you're going, like go ahead and try to book something ahead of time. But depending where you're going, you really don't even need a car.
No, I mean, if you are stationed between, I would say, honestly, almost Water Sound to Rosemary,
Yeah.
in that area, you could even use a golf cart.
Yeah.
And a lot of rentals come with that as an option.
So we stayed at our house for this leadership retreat, which we've done before, and it was like we've always had fun whenever we love going there. I go there with my family, try to go as much as we can. And so I wanted to bring the team down there and have just some time for us to relax and, you know, do a little bit of work. But we mostly spent the time just kind of getting to know each other, and we had some fun activities planned. We got there and we walked over to Rosemary. We had lunch at La Crema, which was so good.
It was so good.
The tapas are so great. We ended up ordering probably way too much.
I think we ended up ordering, like we were like, I would like this. Well, I would like this. And before you knew it, the table was so
Full of food, which I was like, all of it was so good.
Yeah.
The Brussels, their salads. If you're having like a boozy brunch, they have like really great cocktails, and
Yeah.
their wine menu is awesome. So they're always a great stop. They serve dinner too, but for some reason I always end up going there for lunch.
I feel like that's what we've done in the past too. I
Yeah.
don't think we've ever gone for dinner.
There's so many great restaurants. I feel like one reason I love 30A is the food.
Yes, I agree.
Is just, you can't go wrong.
It's like what you start planning when you're like, if we're going to 30A, okay, where are we going to eat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally. It's like you start planning your outfits by like, okay, we're going to dinner here.
Yes.
I'm going to wear this, like whatever. I think one thing that we did this time that was really cool was we worked with the ladies at 30A Arrange,
Beth and Stephanie.
Beth and Stephanie. They were so great.
They were so great. They were so easy to work with. They were very attentive. If I wasn't sure of what we needed, they would suggest items. But go ahead. It was really cool.
So they are a grocery delivery. It's kind of like a concierge service.
It is, because they offer several different things.
Yeah. So pretty much I would say using them if you are flying there and you're not going to have a car. So you're not going to have access to like go to the grocery store, or you need some things like, you know, I mean, of course there's Instacart, but this was amazing because they set everything up for us. So
Yeah.
when we got to the house, like the fridge was stocked, the pantry was stocked, like everything was ready for us to just kind of like unpack our bags and like be there.
Yes.
And that was really nice because for this time we kind of were, our itinerary was like hopping right to it.
It was.
So we really didn't have time to like stop at a grocery store, you know. Everybody's like, what do you want? And it was great because you did like a shared note with her, put pictures, put like items, like everything that we wanted from Publix.
And I asked the girls before we went, I was like, what are
Yeah.
your favorites? Like, what do you need? What do you drink? What do you, snack on? And it was so easy. It took the thought and the hassle out of it.
And I've seen on their Instagram stories where people have used them, and they seem to just like go the extra mile, especially if you have kids or getting sunscreen. They'll like throw in like a like some sand toys or just something that like
Yeah.
makes it a little bit more special or exciting for like the kids to get there. And then there's like stuff for them to do. And I just thought a lot of what they've shared has been really sweet. But again, they were so easy to work with.
They were.
It would also be great for like a bachelorette party or maybe like a huge family is getting together and you just need like a starting point of groceries, like all of the basics. And then you can add on to that throughout the week.
Because like after traveling all day, that's the last
Yeah.
thing you want to do is like get back in the car and go to the
Go to the
grocery store and then
grocery.
figure out while you're there, what are we eating? What are we
Right.
doing? Yeah.
Yeah. So I would definitely recommend them. I
Mhm.
definitely plan to use them again.
Agree.
They were really, really awesome. And then, so we ended up doing a sunrise beach yoga.
Yes.
And that was so much fun.
Oh, that was so much fun. That was just a random thing too, because I was trying to find something for us to do. We were the second day, I guess the first full day is we were going to do a lot of team building, bonding, and going over like business stuff. And I was like, we're going to be sitting around all day. Like I want to get like moving, but like what can we do that's not just walking? Because we're going to do some of that each day. And I literally just was like, things to do or, you know, exercise. And 30A yoga was just like, boom, we'll go wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And there's a public beach access down in Inlet, which is really close by. We ended up driving there. And she met us there and we set out the little like sand proof like mats and like whatever and did an hour of yoga and it was so peaceful and the waves like
Oh,
it was so
I want to do that every
relaxing.
morning.
I know.
That was
So
so
should
good.
we just move to the beach or what?
I'm telling you, every time I come back, I'm like, I'm ready.
I know.
I'm ready. If we're both going, I'll be fine.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I've done yoga 2 times so far this month. And I'm like, maybe I need to like get into yoga more. This
It's
is
so good.
It was really great. But that was a really fun way to start your day. And so again, if you're going on like a bachelorette party or like a mother's trip or girls trip or something, or even like your family.
Yeah.
It was very affordable for
Yes.
just the 1 hour, you know? I mean, you
Yes.
split the cost. I think it was like under $200 for the
Oh,
hour.
it was literally closer to $800. It was
Yes.
so good.
So splitting that up and
Yes.
you're getting a personalized yoga
It's less than
experience.
lunch, you know?
Right.
But she brought everything. We only had to bring ourselves. That was
Yeah.
it. And she brought all the mats, everything else. And it was perfect.
Yeah. I think I'm going to schedule that with my mom later this
Oh,
year.
she would love
'cause
that.
That would be really fun.
Yeah.
So I guess Sunday night we ate dinner at Citizen. That was our first stop. So good. We love Citizen.
I may or may not have rearranged a schedule just so we could make sure we were going there.
I know. So I think they're usually closed on Mondays.
They are.
And so we were like, well, we have to go there.
Yeah. And we were going to the beach the third day. And I was like,
Yes.
well, we're not going to want to like leave the beach super early.
Right.
So
I know. It was so good. The oysters are delicious.
yeah.
The
Feta.
whipped feta, so good.
There's nothing bad that you can get there.
Agree.
It is so good. And their seasonal items are just as good. So,
Yeah.
oh, let's go back. I'm ready.
I know, right? I was looking on the bookings this week and there was like some availability for a few nights in June. And I was like,
That second
could
week.
we go down in June at
Yeah.
some point? So if you're still looking for a beach house, you could check out our house is still available right now.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else?
We went shopping in Rosemary on Sunday, which I feel like we've gone to a couple of places in the past, but we go there to work. Like that's just who we are.
Right.
And so this was fun because we actually got to shop in a lot of the shops. The girls had not been before. And, you know, for the book lovers out there, there is a bookstore and it's actually really good. It's a really cute bookstore. It's called the Hidden Lantern, I believe. Okay.
And it has like a lot of like kids stuff.
It does.
I think I'm just in that age of where my kids are
Yeah.
needing something or I don't know. And I was very surprised
The whole
at
back
just
was kids,
how
right?
much
Yeah.
stuff was for kids back there,
Yeah.
which, a lot of people are bringing their kids with them. So just having games and just like different options, I thought was really cool.
Yeah. A lot of smaller bookstores like that tend to miss out on having like decent size romance, fiction, and like fantasy sections. There's usually a lot more of like, travel and town specific and or nonfiction. And I was very impressed with the amount that they
Yeah.
had in the store. I mean, I found a couple things there that I had not found earlier in the week when I went shopping.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I would say like you could do all of the shopping in Rosemary like in a day.
agree.
And even you could break it up between like a morning stop for lunch and then finish in the afternoon. So if you were there and you wanted to have like a shopping day, you could definitely make that work between like 10 and 4.
Yeah.
And you can also kind of like break it up between like sides of the street. So depending on if you just have like a few hours, there's a few great spots to hit. Or if you've got a full day, just like walking the whole like big loop.
Yeah.
And then stopping for a drink or coffee. They've got great coffee shops.
They're open from 10 to 6 in most cases. So just make sure that you get the shopping in before dinner.
Yeah.
Because then all of the restaurants start to open. So
shops close, which we were like,
it's a
they
missed
should
opportunity.
definitely keep these open later because people are just standing around waiting.
Exactly.
One thing to note is there's not a lot of reservation options in Rosemary, Alice area. Citizen does take reservations for 8 or more. Pescado takes reservations. I think Parodies takes reservations. Maybe Galleons, but for the most part, like Edwards, George's, La Crema, they do not. Cowgirl Kitchen. So just it is, and it tends to be in the summer. People like come off the beach earlier in the day. They go on the beach earlier and come off earlier to like get ready.
Yeah.
And people are like in line waiting for tables by like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
Which I know is something that can kind of like throw people off on their first day when they're like, wait a second, like, why is everybody leaving the beach at 3 p.m.? We have so much light left. And a lot of times it's to go get like a spot for dinner.
Yeah.
One other thing about Rosemary that I always think is so interesting is I feel like it closes down by like 9. There's no like late nighting. There's no like real bars that are
The
open.
road and the sidewalks are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like people are usually back at their houses or whatever, but which is kind of nice.
I feel like because it's not necessarily like a party destination, it's a family destination. And I think that's the difference. But it's such a nice, fun, safe place to go. And I feel like that makes it feel even better. Like knowing that there's not a lot going on outside, craziness on the street. You go down the road to Panama City, you're not getting that.
No. No, you are not. Okay, so then on Tuesday, we woke up and had a little surprise for everybody. So when I was there in April, my mom and I went and got a massage. I love this spa that is right in Rosemary, Viva Spa, and they are so great. Megan is one of my absolute favorite masseuses. She does so amazing. I mean, everybody there is really great. So my mom and I went, and I was like, I think the girls would love this. And maybe if I book far enough in advance, I can get us like a good time, like early. We can all go at the same time. So we ended up doing massages, and it was so great.
It was Ellie's first massage ever.
I know. So happy for her.
Yes.
I think she was very relaxed.
That was a very good experience for her too. I feel like because there are some, like, she didn't have to go to like a massage envy. It's like it set the bar for her. Like this is what you should expect from a good place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so that was fun. And I always tell people to go there, like book something. They have tons of services. And they're just right downtown Rosemary, easy to get to, always like just exceptional.
Exactly. The customer service, honestly, is what sells it the most.
Yeah.
There was not one person there that I was turned off by. Like they were so nice and so caring. So
yeah, I would definitely, I really try to like go every time, but obviously can't do that every time. But it was really a dream. And then we ended up just spending like the afternoon at the beach, and it was kind of windy and a little like crazy because we were also in a tornado warning at one point of this trip.
Yeah, we were.
Well, I mean, thankfully it was a day that we were planned to be inside all day, but we were like, had the news on and we were like, should we take cover?
Well,
What are we
somebody said
doing?
they heard a siren or something, and I was like, what? And we pulled up the weather, and it was like tornado warning, and we were like, maybe
Seek
we should
shelter.
find CNN.
Yeah, like,
wow.
What is the local news here?
Yes.
So
Red flags while we were there.
Double reds.
Yeah.
So no swimming for us. But it was still just so great. And then we went to Edwards that night for dinner. And it was really fun because we actually got to meet a few followers just in the restaurant on the way to the restaurant. And that's always so much fun. I love chatting with people. And
the girls were like, do you normally have like a lot of followers find you? And I'm like, this is usually where it's at because everybody's hanging out in Rosemary, for dinner. But the one lady came up and she was like, I'm so sorry, but I actually just listened to the podcast of 38 or so our old episode because they were coming down for the first time.
Yeah.
I just got chill bumps. I was like, that's so
I know.
cute. Oh.
So we do have another episode of like a 38 review. And a lot of what we're saying is probably very similar to what we've said before because it's very consistent. Like
it is. Nothing's really changed.
We still love a lot of the same things, but we had some new things to add in. So that's why we wanted to give you guys an updated episode. But that was really cool. I was like, it's kind of nice when I talk to people in real life that are like, oh, thank you for that. That helped me.
Yes.
I'm just sitting on the other side of the mic or camera, hoping that like what I'm sharing is actually like helpful for people. So that was really cool just to see and meet her. She was really sweet.
Yeah. And the mom and daughter. There's so many cute. Yeah. Oh, love it. I love when you run into people.
I know. Okay. So if you are going to 30A, an area that I would suggest for you to stay would be there's not a ton of like hotels on the actual 30A area. Right when you go on in Rosemary Beach, there is a hotel called the Pearl. And I've never stayed there before. It looks amazing. It looks like it would be like such a fantastic stay. I think it is a little bit more of like a luxurious experience. So the price point might be a little high. And then there are several like places where there are condos but most of the time it's like there's like houses that people rent. So this would be something you would want to go with like maybe another family, or just a lot of them are like 4 bedrooms or more. So there is a good amount of space depending on how big your family is. But there are so many options on like Airbnb, VRBO. Rosemary Beach has their own like rental company through Rosemary Beach. Same with Alice Beach and then like beyond. And then there's also a hotel. It's not right on the beach, but they do have beach access. Water Sound Beach Club. They've got the hotel that just opened up. And so that's an option that's a little bit, it's on a golf course and they have like a really great pool, but then you would have to drive to the beach. So that's an option to stay as well. But there's, again, just like the rentals, I think is.
I've stayed in Seacrest at the condos. And if it's just you and, your spouse or something, and you just need something a little smaller, those are great for that.
Yeah, the studios too. And then my friend Rachel, who y'all have heard me talk about before, her Instagram is Pinteresting Plan. Her husband, Chris, and her, they own a rental company in 30A, and they're realtors, and their Instagram is called Stay on 30A, and they have like tons of rental listings that they do. And then if you're ever looking to buy, they are amazing realtors and are just very knowledgeable about the area. So they would be somebody I would look towards. But even just following their Instagram, they post like rental opportunities that are open and things like that. So it's a good spot to look if you're just like wanting to figure out where to go.
That's so funny. I'm actually reading our notes. And did you know that the Truman Show was filmed in Seacrest Beach?
No.
Sorry, I just looked down and I was like, wait, what?
That's so interesting.
Okay.
One thing that we haven't talked about yet that I love in the summer is the farmers market in Rosemary.
Oh, yeah.
So it's on Sundays, and a lot of the rentals flip on Saturdays. So a lot of people's like first day is Sunday, and walking to the farmers market and like getting fresh vegetables, meat, like you can get all this fresh seafood. We've gotten some stuff from like local farms there, and it's so good.
Yeah.
My mom is always like, okay, let's go to the farmer's market and like stock up on all of our like veggies for the week. I'm like, okay.
The waiter on the last night at Edwards, I believe, he was talking about how many farms there are that are actually like very, very local
Yeah.
that bring in fresh produce and obviously meats and things like that. So I would assume that all of that is super, super local
Yeah.
and super fresh. It was so cute. We were able to catch it. That's the first time I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they do like a lot of really good like pastries and like local honey and all this stuff. It's funny because last year I remember like the girls wanted some type of cookie or something, and I didn't give it to them, and had like a major meltdown. And I'm just like, okay, this is one of those moments where like my kid is laying out in the dirt and I'm just like, nothing to see here. Like, great start.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, let's talk beach access, because if you're going down to 30A for your first time, you might want to know some of this information. Most all of this area is private. So much so that like even the neighborhood sections are actually like really kind of small. And which is great for like the owners who own property right on the beach, but not as great for people who are maybe like renting in our neighborhood, which is a rather large area. And then there's just not very much beach front space for people to stay. There is close beach access with Inlet Beach. And a lot of times people just drive down there, park, and do that for the day. There's bathrooms right there.
It was a great access point.
It's such like that's honestly one of the easiest spots, and you can actually like move around without being on top of each other. Whereas at Seacrest, you can just take like the trolley. They have like golf carts back and forth. So you don't have to drive, and you can get like a trolley ride right to the like front of the where you would go down the steps to the beach, but you risk like not being able to find a great spot.
Yeah.
And I think there are like other public beach access like all down 30A. It's just if there's parking close by to it. Grayton Beach is also like another great beach area. You have to pay like, I think it's like $5 or something, and you go on and there's like plenty of beach space
And
there.
so that's worth it.
Yeah. And you can go there. Another great like bathroom situation. Seaside is close by, but we really don't go to Seaside a ton. It's just the parking, like it's actually like very congested in my opinion, but it's just, I really like to just go and not drive anywhere.
Is that between Alice and Water Sound? Or is it after?
It's like after Water
Sound.
Sound.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So yeah, I would just say like do a little bit of research as far as like what the beaches are like. Because depending on where you stay in a neighborhood, you might want to take the tram like every time, or you will be like taking a long walk like from the beach back and forth. So that's definitely something to consider as well.
Yeah.
So another thing that people do a ton down there in the summer is rent bikes. There's so many great like bike rental companies like right at the top of Seacrest. A lot of the times like the owners of the homes would have like information on how you could rent bikes and things like that. So you will see so many people riding bikes. So that's something to be like aware of when you're walking around, because a lot of times like there's just bikers everywhere.
Yeah, beware.
Yeah. They like to ride on the sidewalks too, which is very interesting. But you definitely have that option, and they've got like, you know, all those type of like kids pulley ones and like the double bikes and something for everyone truly in the bike department.
Truly, yeah.
Okay, let's get into like the best of food, because there's like we've talked about just how this is such like a foodie experience for us. So I'm going to go through like a quick little list and share just kind of my opinion on some of the best of, and this can be a little running list that you guys could keep and visit whenever you go down there.
Yeah.
Okay, so best place for an upscale dinner, I would say Parodies or Pescado. Pescado is great because they're on like a rooftop, so you can watch the sunset from up there, and the food is really, really good. Best place for an easy dinner. I love Edwards, Citizen, Galleons. George's is good if you get there early. There's usually a line, but it's a great family environment. And they do have like a really great waiting area and bar and like cornhole and stuff to do. So you could easily wait, but you do need to get there early. Lunch, I would say La Crema or Fawnville. There's even a spot, it's right down at the end. Cowgirl Kitchen is great for breakfast and lunch. And then there's another spot right at the end of Rosemary, right across from the Pearl, that has got really good breakfast food as well.
Okay.
I'll have to look up what the name is, but there's like, it's right across from the Pearl.
Yeah.
So that's a good spot too.
Okay.
Coffee, I would say Fawnville, Third Cup, Charlie's Donuts. They've got really good coffee actually.
Are they still in a vehicle?
No,
they have their own spot now?
They have their own
Okay.
spot in Alice.
Cute.
And then also Raw and Juicy is a great one in Alice Beach. They also have this really cool playground that the kids like love to play at, and it's got a really great slide and rock climbing
Yes.
wall and like kind of more like nature-y sort of vibes.
And the breakfast is great.
The food is so
Yes.
good. Coffee is good. That's another that a line does start forming before 8 a.m. They open at 8 a.m. and the line is like out the door. So
It's
I
worth
would
it,
get
though.
there early.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of like they've really expanded their breakfast menu. So that's another
Good to know.
delicious place. Ice cream, there is a Sugar Shack and there's a Kilwins. There's actually like a few like random ice cream and candy shops. Like you can't go wrong with
Yeah.
ice cream at the beach from any of these places. So I would recommend them all.
Where are your favorite places to shop when you go there?
I love Luminary.
That is so cute.
Yes.
I was finally able to go in this
I
last time
know.
because I feel like it's closed by the time we usually get down there. So cute.
Luminary, I love just like the items they carry. They have some really great jewelry. I always find good jewelry there, accessories. Also, they carry home decor as well. And some of their light fixtures, I took a lot of inspiration from and used some of those in our new house.
Yeah.
So, love Luminary. Ex Voto is another one that has some just like beautiful dresses. They're like, I would say they have like really great vacation dresses, a little bit higher price point. And then some really great accessories. And then Willow and then Mercer. They're like this, they're together, but they have like one store that's together and then like two stores that are separate. One in Rosemary, one in Alice, and then one in 30 Avenue. And those are great. That's where I got this necklace from.
Okay.
In that one shop.
Yeah.
And they had some really cute stuff there.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the shops. It's so easy to just go in and out of them all. And I feel like we were just like, everything was great. You have to go to like the Rosemary Beach shop and get like a sweatshirt or a hat.
Yes.
We all got these lavender sweatshirts.
We did.
And I love that thing.
It was a new color, so of course we all were like, have to have that.
No, channeling our inner lavender haze moment.
Exactly.
So we'll either do the Alice Beach or the Alice Raw and Juicy playground.
Yes.
So we will either do the playground over at Raw and Juicy, or there's another playground in Rosemary that's kind of one of those like older wooden playgrounds that has some great like tire swings and different things on it, and they love that one. So we'll walk around. They also have kind of a lot of these like open fields and the kids will run around. But I mean, for the most part, we're either at the pool or the beach or like walking around.
Yeah.
There are some places, like if it was a rainy day, you would have to drive a little bit, but there's a Build-A-Bear, there's movie theaters, there's like some stuff that is a little bit further. But
Pier Park is so easy to access too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's close by. But I mean, I would say most of the time, like people are either like riding bikes or going to one of those parks or just on the beach.
I had so much fun last week. I felt like we had a lot of bonding moments, played some really fun games.
Gosh. Okay, we have to link this game in the show notes, you guys.
It's called Incoherent. And it's so funny because it was one of those random gifts I just got last minute for the girls for Christmas. And we have such a fun time playing it. I was like, this is going to be so much fun if I bring it for all of us like to play. We didn't even go into the second game.
No.
We had so much fun playing
we?
that game.
Yeah. I think we covered like every card in that
We
game,
did.
though.
We really did. We
got
like
through the
scoured. We're
whole
like, have
box.
we used these yet?
So you basically like, it kind of,
It's gibberish.
it's like,
and you have to decipher what it's actually trying to say. And I've heard the game, like, if it's so much easier if you do it with a British accent. That's what I've always heard.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't know if it's true or not, but that definitely made for a fun game.
So much more fun. I have videos on my phone of us like yelling at each other, being like, this is what I'm saying. And the person on the other side of the card is like, that's not
That's
it.
nothing like what it is. Yeah.
It was so much fun. But that would be such like if you are a beach person or like a game person, having this on a family vacation would be just endless laughs. I mean, I think we played it for like 2 hours.
We really did. And we wanted to keep going.
We were like, we need like a second pack.
We
to, like,
really do.
add into
I wonder if
this.
it's like Cards Against Humanity where you can buy extra packs.
Yeah.
I need to look into that.
That would actually be great to know.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't even know that I want to say it's good family fun because there were some naughty ones that were in the red cards, but
steer clear of the red.
I would say that like my teen girls, it's fine. We just stay. That's why they were still in the pack. Honestly, we'd never used the red cards. We definitely did.
No place to pull them out in like a team retreat.
It's true. It's true. But yeah, we had such a good time. So we'll definitely link that. It's a must to have in your game closet.
Yeah. I love a good board game. And I feel like there's so many games now that it's like, I don't know, that it's just a great one to have in your back pocket for when people are over. It's like, oh, what can we do? I need to get a few games for just to have at the new house.
Girl, we have a closet.
I know.
Of games.
I've got like a cabinet ready for them.
I have Mall Madness. You know, I need to give that to the girls. They would love that.
What is that?
Mall Madness? You didn't have that as a kid?
I don't think so.
Do you know what Mall Madness is? No? I'm thinking of something different, I think. But... Okay, this was like the ultimate board game in the 90s. It's literally the mall, and you like roll, and it depends on what store you get to, and if you get to a department store, you get like extra points, and there's all kinds of great things. Like
my kids are gonna be like, what's a mall?
I know, they really are, but like it's so fun.
Okay, so just wrapping this up, I feel like we had such a great time with our girls. We did this trip last year, and we actually brought Jen Bowie with us on the trip.
Yeah.
So we had a time of like going through and doing anonymous feedback. And so everybody was able to say like, hey, here's something that like I really like that you do, or here's something that like I wish you would do differently, or when you do this, it like is hard, or whatever the case may be. And so Jen really walked us through like how getting feedback is a really good thing. And then everybody from that point last year has had this opportunity to like be really open and like true to what we learned, and like some of these just tactics on communication, really. I mean, Loverly Gray, we're a small business, you know. I mean, I didn't start this thinking I would become a CEO and have people underneath me, but I want to create a environment where other people who are working here want to be, but there's a lot of like learning that goes along with that. And so some of the girls that were there were on the trip last year, and they have moved into leadership roles, and they really kind of took some of their goals that they wrote out in talking with her last year and kind of just really like went after their goals and reached them.
They came back as new people this year.
Yeah.
It definitely was a huge leap from where we were last year, having to give anonymous because we were just trying to get used to the idea of feedback, to really being like looking at somebody in the eye and go, you know, I really think that we could really work on this, and this is why.
Yeah.
And it not be scary.
Right.
You know, so I definitely, I love seeing them grow, and I love seeing how far that they've come.
Yeah. And I think it's just, I just so appreciate everybody who works here who just puts their trust in this vision that I created. And just, you know, I mean, that's to have people to show up to like fight for your cause every day is so amazing. And so it's really important for me to like pour back into those people and make sure that they are taken care of and that they do feel fulfilled and that they can take a break and,
Yeah.
do some of those things that we did. And just, it was really fun. I think we all left it just feeling fresh and like new and revived and excited and
Ready to tackle the rest of the year.
Yeah. So it's always a good kind of like halfway point, good time to be like, okay, like let's figure out what have we done? What are we going to continue to do? So
And yes, it's a halfway point for us because holiday is kind of like a beast of its own.
yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That gets its own like time
Entity.
sector.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was great, but we just thought it would be fun to share a little recap of that and then kind of go over some of our favorite places in Rosemary and 30A area. You cannot go wrong. We absolutely love it.
So I think with all of that being said, I really cannot wait to see the growth that happens between now and next year.
I agree.
We have so many fun things that are to come that I think they are going to truly rise to the occasion and show their true potential, honestly. So very excited for the future.
Yes. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in to today's episode, and we can't wait to chat with you soon. Until next time.